We are live here to discuss Iran war situation and Iran war updates. We analyze social media footages and reports which can be unverified at times, and we provide analysis over those unverified footages and reports purely from educational and documentary point of view, strongly following the YouTube community guidelines. Now we have this news that the Houthis of Yemen have officially joined this war against from Iranian side and against Israel and US. This is the spokesperson of Houthis of Yemen, and they said they have officially joined the war against the US and Israel. This is a big breaking news today that Houthis have officially joined war against Israel, and they said that they have waited for many days, and they were warning. This is their point of view. They said that they were already warning the U.S. and Israel that they would join the war if Israel and US doesn't stop bombing Iran, so they would be joining war. They were warning, and now they have officially joined this war against Israel. This is a big breaking news that Houthis of Yemen have joined war against Israel. They are a proxy group of Iran, and Iran has many groups whom they support, and Iran calls it as axis of resistance. Iran supports Hamas, Iran supports Hezbollah in Lebanon, Iran supports PMF, Popular Mobilization Force in Iraq, and Iran supports also these Houthis in Yemen. So Houthis have officially joined this war against Israel. Houthis have originally joined officially joined war against Israel. This is big breaking news from today that Houthis have joined this war against Israel. Houthis have joined this war against Israel, and Houthis have launched missiles, fired missiles towards Israel. Houthis have launched today. Houthis have launched missiles, ballistic missiles towards Israel, and they have officially joined this war. To which Israel reported that Israeli spokesperson, IDF spokesperson, have said that Yemen and Houthis will have to pay for firing missiles towards Israel. So the war has entered in its 29th day today, and in some part of the world it's 30th day. If you live in eastern part of the world, it's the 30th day of this war, and if you live in the western part of the world, it's the 29th day is just ending, and basically it's 29th day. This war has been prolonged for 29 days, and it is still continuing. So Houthis, big breaking news from today is that Houthis have officially joined the war against Israel, and the US and Houthis have fired ballistic missiles towards Israel. Houthis have fired also the drones. Houthis have ballistic missiles. Houthis have these drones as well, and they have pretty good navy, small boats, talking about not the large fleets, and they don't have those large ships and fleets, but they have small boats like Iran do have. And Iran uses the boats for fast speed attack boats. So Houthis have those fast attack boats as well. And so this is the news from today that Houthis have officially joined war against Israel, and Houthis are have attacked Israel, and they have launched multiple missiles towards Israel. So Houthis are into this war. They have joined this war officially now. So, do you think now? Let's discuss some the strategic impact of this Houthis joining this war. Houthis have a good arsenal of ballistic missiles as well as drones, and Houthis will be firing these drones and ballistic missiles towards Israel. Israel will be now busy in multiple fronts. Israel is fighting in Lebanon against Hezbollah. Israel is fighting in will be now fighting in with Houthis as well in Yemen, and Israel was also fighting mainly against Iran, and so Israel is busy at multiple fronts now. So now, this is basically the strategy of Iran that make Israel busy and make their forces overstretch so that it becomes difficult for them to fight this war, so that they remain busy at the multiple fronts, and so that their air defenses get busy a lot and they run out of these missiles and air defense missiles and interceptors. So Houthis have officially joined this war, and Houthis do have a good arsenal of this what you call the ballistic missiles and also those drones. Now, another strategic importance for regarding joining of this war by Houthis is that there is up till now you have been hearing the Strait of Hormuz a lot, and you all are familiar that when the Strait of Hormuz is closed, the Strait of Hormuz is closed by Iran, and it's 29th day that the strait is closed, and 20% of the supply and trade of the whole world happens through this strait. And so now you will be hearing another strait. When Houthis are joining this war, you will be hearing about another strait. That strait is the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. And I have also created a poll, so please do vote in that poll that will Houthis close the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb, or should they close the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb or not? Do vote in there as well. Up till now, you were hearing about the Strait of Hormuz, and now comes the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. The Strait of Bab el-Mandeb is another strait like the Strait of like the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is basically controlling the Strait of Hormuz, but the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb lies where Yemen is basically. The Strait of Bab el-Mandeb lies where Yemen is basically, and Houthis are in Yemen, and Houthis can and they will definitely be going for the closure of the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb, and you will be hearing soon that the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb will be blocked and closed by Houthis, and we'll see this decision soon. And it's my analysis that the Houthis, who have just joined this war officially now, they would be closing the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait accounts for 12% of the whole of the trades the 12% trade of the whole of the world, of whole world. The 12% of the trade is done by through this route of Bab al Mandab. So when and many vessels of oil and other things also pass through this strait of Bab al Mandab, and they go towards Israel. So Israel uses this route of Bab al Mandab as well. So you will be hearing in a day or two or three or four that houses might say that they are closing and announce that they have closed the Strait of Bab al Mandab, and that would be a significant move from Houthis, and with the collective impact of both strait being closed simultaneously, the Strait of Hormuz is already closed, and if the Strait of Bab al Mandab gets closed too, you see then where it would be heading. 20% trade is already halted, and when with the closure of Strait of Hormuz, and 12% then will be halted if Houthis of Yemen close the Strait of Bab al Mandab, and so you will see 32% of trade and oil which pass through this Strait of Hormuz of whole world will be blocked and halted by Iran and Houthis, and then you'll see that these prices of oil and gas would be jumping and skyrocketing, and it would affect it will affect almost every country of the world, and there'll be shortage of and there will be shortage of oil and energy and gas as well, and there will be inflation, and there would be unemployment, and there would be disruption of trade routes as well. So that would be dangerous and catastrophic for every country of the world, as prices would be going sky high. So this 32% when gets closed, so you see, you can imagine what will happen. So now, with Houthis officially joining this war, they will be looking forward, and they would be preparing. This is my analysis, that they would be definitely preparing for the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, and in a day it is a matter of days. Now, 2 to 4 days, you'll be hearing news that Houthis have announced that they have closed the Strait of Hormuz, and Israel would also be directly affected by this closure, because Israel's oil supply and trade is also through this strait, and so Israel will also be affected. So 32% of the whole trade of the world is affected, and also oil supply of the world is affected, and you can imagine the consequences of that closure of the Strait of Bab al Mandab. We have a question in the in our live chat. We have put a question and poll for you, that will Houthis close this Strait of Bab al Mandab or not? Please do comment on it, and do share your thoughts on it, and do take part in poll. Next news is that these are aerial images of damage at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia following an Iranian missile and drone attack on Friday. Aerial images showing damage at Prince Sultan Air Base of Saudi Arabia, and these are U.S. planes, KC-135s, and another some airplanes belonging to U.S. Air Force, and they were stationed at Prince Sultan Air Base. So Iran did a drone attack at them, with 5 KC-135 were damaged, and US says that they are already repairing those damaged KC-135, which are basically refueling jets, and they have also damaged. Iran has also damaged an air plane, which is basically a warning, whose work and which is basically utilized for an earning warning. It works like for earning warning radar system. It works like that for that purposes. That is also damaged. So Iran has significantly attacked and damaged the air planes and jets of U.S. Air Force and KC-135, which are refueling jets. There, 5 of those jets are damaged, and they were stationed at Saudi Arabia's base of Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, and these are aerial footages of that Saudi Arabia's Prince Sultan base. And now let's move to some other news, and this is Donald Trump today, and he said that something about. He says that this is not the Strait of Hormuz, but this is Strait of Trump. And he did clarify that he has not accidentally said that this is the Strait of Trump, but he actually meant that this is the Strait of Trump and not the Strait of Hormuz. This was like on a lighter note. I'm telling you that President Trump said that. And this is regarding the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump said that this is not the Strait of Hormuz, this is the Strait of Trump. And he said that he's not saying it accidentally or by slip of tongue, but he actually means it, that this is the Strait of Trump, hinting that the Strait of Trump would be soon opened by US. But President Trump has said this many times, that the Strait of Hormuz will be open as soon as possible. But the Strait of Hormuz, Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz effectively. This is missile launched from Iran or Yemen possibly, and that is over Israeli skies, and these fishermen have captured the missiles over these skies. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and share your thoughts, and do take part in the poll as well. Iranian missiles with cluster warheads over skies of Israel. These are Iranian missiles with cluster warhead over the skies of Israel. And let's check that how many of you have voted and taken part in the poll. 26 votes now that will Houthis close the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb, and 26 votes, and 85% of the people are now up till now saying that yes, the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb will be closed by Houthis, and 15% of the people say that no, the Strait of will not be closed by Houthis. And we have a comment now. Hi from my side too. And these are fishermen capturing Iranian missiles over the skies of Israel, and these fishermen have captured from their cell phones these missiles over the skies of Israel. And let's these are Iranian missiles seen over Israel. Al Arabia English is reporting these barrage of missiles towards Israel. And we were earlier discussing Houthis joining this war, and when Houthis are joining this war, basically you see here that Houthis are Houthis are axis of resistance or a proxy group of Iran, and Houthis are in Yemen, and Iran supports them financially as well as Iran supports them with missiles and drones, and Houthis have a good arsenal of missiles and drones, and they have also the ballistic missiles as well. So Houthis do have ballistic missiles as well, and they have joined this war now. So we clearly see here a strategy and signaling from Iran that Houthis might have joined this war when it was like the first day or second day of the war, but they didn't join this war then. But they have joined this war now. Why now? You ask yourselves questions that why have Houthis joined this war with Iran and against Israel and US now, and they could have joined this war when this war started at the very first day, or when Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was assassinated, and they could have joined war then. But they haven't joined this war then, but they have joined this war. And they have joined this war now. Why now? And we'll answer this, that why they have joined this war now. That basically this is a tactical signaling from Iran, and they have signaled now to Houthis that jump in and join this war, and they haven't joined this war at the start. You see the tactical signaling here and the strategical signaling and planning here, that first it was Iran versus Israel and US. Then after a few days or a week or two, Hezbollah jumped in and joined this war. So Israel had then two fronts open, one against Iran and the other against Lebanon. So because Hezbollah was firing rockets and missiles at them, and Israel was busy at that front over two. And now after 2 more weeks, and in total 4 weeks, Houthis have been signaled to join this war, and now Houthis have joined this war, and they have fired drones and missiles towards Israel, and Israel has said that they would attack now Houthis in Yemen, and they have the IDF spokesperson said that the Houthis would pay for this, would have to pay for this attack on Israel, and they are now you see a clear strategy here, and the clear strategy here is that Iran wants Israel to remain busy at multiple fronts, so that Israel should be busy fighting the war at multiple fronts, and Iran moreover, when at multiple fronts the missiles and drones would be fired towards Israel, the air defenses, it would be overburdened. The air defenses of Israel would be overburdened, and they would be defending missiles and drones coming from Iran, from Lebanon by Hezbollah, and from Yemen by Houthis. So Israel would be busy, and their air defenses and their would be overburdened, and they would be intercepting incoming missiles and drones from Yemen, from Lebanon, and from Iran. So this was a strategy by Iran, and so now they have signaled the Houthis to jump in this war, because the Houthis, because Iran wants that Israel should be busy at the three fronts, and Iran wants the air defenses of Israel to be overburdened, and they should be intercepting not only Iranian missiles and drones, but they should be intercepting the Hezbollah's drones and missiles from Lebanon, and also Houthis missiles and drones coming from Yemen. So this was clearly the strategy, and now so that Israel runs out of its interceptors, and they should when Israel would be intercepting many missiles from three different parts of the world, so they would be kind of busy, and they could be the Israeli forces would also be overstretched, and they would be busy, and they would run low on the air defenses missiles. So this was a planned strategy by Iran, that they asked Hezbollah to join the war 2 weeks later, and after that, when Hezbollah joined, after that 2 weeks more, they signaled Houthis to jump into the war. So now Houthis have officially jumped into this war, and it's the 29th day of the war, and the Houthis have jumped into this war. So now, with telling you all this analysis, we ask you to please do take part in the poll as well, and do also subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and share your thoughts in the comments. This is today a series of explosions struck multiple areas of Tehran and linked to ongoing Israeli and US airstrikes. This is the airstrikes on Tehran today by Israel and US. Let's discuss that this is US multiple Iranian naval vessels and on Saturday, and these are visuals, unclassified visuals, that Iranian Navy was targeted by, and Iranian vessels were targeted by US. And if you remember, we showed you these visuals yesterday as well, when there was the port of kind of Chabahar, Bandar Abbas or Chabahar, when Iranian naval facilities were and naval ports were targeted yesterday. And now we have footages when Iranian naval vessels have been targeted by US and Israel. Iranian naval vessels have been targeted by US and Israel. Iran has launched missiles towards Israel, and Iran, the name of the operation which Iran is leading is Operation True Promise 4. The operation launched by America is Operation Epic Fury, and the operation launched by Israel is the Roaring Lion. And J.D. Vance has today said that we would not be we are not here for long term, and we are not kind of, basically he hinted that our plans are not a long-term war against Iran, and we'll quickly wrap it up. And with that, I felt and that there is he's possibly saying that we are not interested in ground invasion. And I concluded, he didn't say that they are not interested in ground invasion of Iran, but I feel that because he said that we are not going to we are not here for a prolonged war, and we'll wrap the things up as quickly as possible. And by this wrapping things quickly up, I mean that I feel that the chances of ground invasions are very low, that US invading Iran by ground invasion is very low, because J.D. Vance, the vice president of US, is hinting that there are no long-term plans of regarding this war. And so I feel that the chances of ground invasion of Iran are very low, and US won't be sending troops for the ground invasion. And also, this ground invasion would be very difficult for to carry, as the terrain is not favorable to the US troops, and US troops would be 500,000, 2 million strong would be needed for the ground invasion, successful ground invasion, and for that the cost would be very heavy. I feel that the chances of ground invasion of Iran is very low, very low. So, what are your thoughts on it as well? And now, time for us to take a little break, and we'll return soon with more news. And request that before leaving, do please subscribe the channel and like the video as well, and do support us by subscribing this channel and by liking this video. And time for us to take a little break, and then we'll return with some more news. And uh, take care of yourselves, and stay happy.